Welcome back, Exiles. I have two amazing news for you. First, we finally get the release date for the next big content patch, patch 030, with a new league drastically changing the game and bringing a fresh economy again. This time, it will be different though. And second, there was an interview with Jonathan Rogers on a Chinese website about the future of Path of Exile 2 and what we can probably expect in patch 030. That interview was an hour long, but I wrapped everything up together for you. Let's check the content update timeline. Now that PoE 1 has had its leak, it's time to talk about our plans for the next Path of Exile 2 content update. Major updates for the Path of Exile 2 are released every 4 months. Since 020 was in April, that means the next one will be in August 29th to be precise, and the other one after that will be in December. Now the interesting part about the August update is we have the Gamescom right before, so I would assume that Path of Exile 2 has a presence at Gamescom, and we might get some early gameplay there. Our big updates, including the one coming in August, include a new leak. This time it's different though. Leaks are a fresh economy, okay, for you to experience the new content update, but they also have exclusive content that is only available in the league. This has not been the case for Dawn of the Hunt. Dawn of the Hunt was a league where you could play the content normal in your standard account, or you made a new character, but you had a choice. This time around, the choice will not be there. You're either going to make a new league character with an empty stash and then enjoy the new exclusive content, or keep playing standard. Leagues usually contain a new combat mechanic, new rewards, new crafting options, and new bosses. During the league, the new content will usually appear in every area, giving you a new experience while playing through the game. After the league ends, we have a chance to work out how we will integrate the content from the league into the base game, meaning it's a great way to introduce new things while still giving us a chance to fix any problems before they're in the game forever. And then after the league is finished, your characters and items will transfer over into the standard league. So it's not like your characters will be lost, but this time around, if you truly want to experience the new content, you can't just be sitting on your old characters. I personally am really excited for that. I play solo self-found anyways, and I would like to start completely fresh, completely rework my stash and finally have it sorted and have a reason to do it. Do not despair though. Of course, our content updates always contain a lot of new stuff for the base game as well. As Path of Exile 2 is still in early access, we have a lot of content that we haven't finished yet, and there are certainly a lot of new stuff coming. Now for the date. 030 will be released on August the 29th. I can't wait for that. But this is not everything I have for you. Jonathan was sitting down over at Bilibili, the Chinese streaming website, and giving an in-depth interview on the future of Path of Exile 2, what's to come, and kind of a look into patch 030 with the things he's actually saying. Now, obviously, we don't want to watch the whole video and go through every single thing, so I summarized the whole thing for us. First part, game balance and skills. 030 focus is going to be large buffs to underused non-viable skills across all classes. This aims to broaden the viable build diversity and ensure players aren't inadvertently penalized for choosing skills that currently underperform, making more choices feel meaningful. Like starting with Warrior and not choosing Bone Shatter. Or generally ignoring every tier 3 skill and then only tier 5 and then tier 7 and tier 9. Make every skill viable, make every skill a real option. The goal is to maintain challenge without punishing wrong skill choices. The developers want to avoid a meta where only a few builds are truly effective. Instead, promoting a system where a wider range of player choices can achieve an endgame content, provided they're built strategically. So obviously you can't throw together the most random skills and just be like, this is the Santa Claus build. It throws snowballs with stones in it, which would be amazing, by the way. Each class reviewed for least used skills, if that's how you pronounce reviewed. Ensure every skill can scale to endgame viability. That's huge. I want every skill to perform in the endgame and not like until Act 3, Act 1 cruel, it's good, but afterwards a level 20 version of it just simply doesn't do enough damage. That sucks. This systematic review involves analyzing telemetry data to identify underpicked skills and then redesign them to ensure they possess clear scaling path and competitive damage utility outputs at higher levels of play. Ta-da! Then minion issues, generally speaking about pathing, clumping, boss fighting. they're very bad in tight areas, and it just feels super horrible. And in boss encounters, they can be partially completely nuked and not actually exist, and you're waiting more often than not to have them get revived. Looking forward to these changes. Weapon speeds. Maces are the slowest and spears are the fastest. Axes and swords will be in the middle ground. One-hand versus two-hand speed gap is intentionally larger. This establishes a clear identity for each weapon type, impacting playstyle and build choices. The larger speed gap between one-handed and two-handed weapons emphasizes distinct tactical advantages, with two-handed weapons delivering slower, more impactful hits, and one-handed weapons offering faster, more frequent attacks. Would be nice if it was actually that way, because my very fast attacking monk with his two-handed staff goes whack, 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 pop, 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 and everything just pops, whereas my warrior still goes and barely anything happens. Well, okay, Bone Shatter just explodes everything. Technically, this is true. Practically, I can't wait for axes and swords, to be honest, because the mace slowness really stinks. Jewel socket count likely lowered even further. Compensate with more compelling notable passives. I prefer notable passives over having to find perfect jewels. That being said, we barely have any jewel slots available at this point. This change aims to shift power from raw stat stacking via jewels towards more engaging and build-defining choices through a passive skill tree, making character progression feel more impactful. And then on evasion and miss feedback, plan to show miss indicators, monster HP bar, possible life orb, and reconsider evasion reliability. Improved feedback will allow players to better understand why their attacks are missing and how effective their evasion is, leading to more informed tactical decision and less perceived randomness in combat. How about we just get rid of invasion and find out a new way to do things, because invasion just feels stupid. Campaign and progression. This one will make many of you happy. Double playthrough, normal plus cruel, slated for removal sooner than you think. Jonathan really in this interview expressed he hates it. This change aims to streamline the initial leveling experience, reduce the repetitive nature of playing through the same campaign multiple times, and allow players to reach endgame content faster. Not sure about the faster part, but I want Act 4, 5, and 6. It's truly the thing I need, considering that we're at 030, and technically the early access should have lasted for a year, but we're not going to hit that. I mean, I'm not getting my hopes up that 030 will have the new acts in it, but I would throw everything out of the window for it. Every single balance change here, just throw it out of the window for the new acts, please. Campaign pacing to be sped up. Early crafting tutorials, weapon mods added. Accelerating the campaign flow while integrating early tutorials will make the new player experience smoother, introducing core game mechanics progressively and reducing the learning curve before more complex systems are encountered. We'll see how that plays out with the patch. Then the level 95 XP curve will be eased. This adjustment intends to make achieving max level less of an extreme grind. I know a lot of you want this extreme grind, but it's been a bit lowered. To the endgame and the Atlas. Need more random encounters within maps. The current Atlas is too predictable. Increase the unpredictability of map encounters will boost replayability and reduce the feeling of routine, encouraging players to adapt their strategies on the fly. Generally speaking, from what Jonathan has said, it sounds like they want to populate maps more. They want to get rid of any feeling of emptiness in maps, meaning you're going to choke down monsters left, right, and center. Future iterations may overhaul the Atlas structure, details pending. A potential overhaul suggests a significant redesign of how the endgame map system functions, possibly introducing new progression path, unlock mechanisms, or unique challenges beyond the current map completion objectives. Ongoing addition of new pinnacle content to preserve the difficulty ramp, continuously introducing new extremely challenging content ensures that veteran players always have new high-tier objectives to strive for, maintaining a sense of progression and mastery. Seems like they're at least thinking about the casual gamer and the Path of Exile super nerds. Itemization and crafting. Recent drop rate changes aimed at satisfying dedicated grinders. These adjustments ensure that players who invest significant time into the game are adequately rewarded with valuable drops. In case you missed it, there was a big patch showing that Astromentus, for example, the unique amulet, was just simply not existing. That people even had it was a wonder. So I hope they buff this more, because if they add more chase uniques, they should at least drop. I mean, there's still uniques I've just never seen with my hundreds over hundreds hours of gameplay right now. New uniques must suggest clear build ideas and narrative ties, introducing new highly thought after unique items that inherently guide players towards specific and interesting build archetypes, enhances discovery and creativity, while narrative ties deepen immersion. I just want to actually find these chase uniques. Thank you. Continuous expansion of crafting systems, some underused systems, in example essences, to be redesigned. This commitment ensures crafting remains diverse and relevant, with the reworks of underperforming systems aimed at making all crafting methods viable and intuitive for players. First and foremost, when it comes down to crafting systems, just take some of the RNG out and give us more deterministic choices instead of just slam currency. Oh, it didn't work? Slam more currency. That didn't work? Well, item bricked. Slam currency on the next item. Also, be sad after slamming currency didn't work. More stash tab types and league-specific tabs by full release. Expanding storage options improves quality of life. Yes, if I actually was then organizing my stash, and I will definitely do this in the new league. I swear, I promise, chat, my stash will look like the ADHD dream, not nightmare. It's a nightmare right now. Trading in economy. Current philosophy. Limit trade speed to curb inflation. Gold-gated currency market. By moderating the speed at which items and currency can be traded, the developers aim to prevent hyperinflation and stabilize the in-game economy, ensuring that the value of items remains relatively consistent. I'm not sure how they want to do it. It would be nice to see, though, something to avoid inflation, to avoid people that buy currency on third-party websites and have the market blow out of proportion. Working on a broader gold-based trade system for non-currency items before full launch. This indicates a move towards a more universal, user-friendly trading mechanism for all items beyond just specialized currencies, potentially simplifying transactions and broadening market accessibility. Inflation-monitored gold remains bound, items tradable. Yeah, if gold is bound, you can't buy gold from the internet to then trade with it. So, yeah. Continuous monitoring of market dynamics allows for timely adjustment. Keeping gold character bound while making items tradable aims to maintain gold's role as a consumption resource rather than a primary trade commodity, further controlling inflation. Just keep in mind to actually reduce the reskill cost further, because if gold is anyway bound into trade, I just don't want to pay money for reskilling my character. I'm sorry. It's still silly to me that I have a level 90 character, and if I want to switch builds, I either farm gold for hours or I make a new character. And before I farm gold for hours, making a new character is actually faster than farming the gold to reskill a character, and that shouldn't be the case. But that's just something on the side. League design and content cadence. Early access mostly reimagining versions of existing mechanics, as Marion Wisp replacing Tormented Spirits. This approach from early access allows developers to refine proven concepts and gather player feedback on iterated designs, ensuring a polished experience for new content without having to invent entirely new systems from scratch. Full release, brand new leaks every cycle, no repeats. Post-full release players can expect a constant stream of fresh, innovative content with each new leak, ensuring long-term engagement. That's a nice promise, Jonathan, if it then works. Fixed release dates. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, if we really get every 4 month a patch, then we can at least lock in for this. I mean, we know now August, December, April, August, December, August, December, April, August, December. I'm in for that, please. Quality of life and UI, and this is where it gets interesting. Pause screen overhaul. Hover monsters to view precise DPS, recent damage counters. This enhancement provides players with immediate actionable feedback on their combat effectiveness and inbound damage, aiding inbuilt optimization and tactical decision making in real-time scenarios. Considering damage logs and target dummy, but pause DPS readout preferred for real scenario accuracy. I would not mind a target dummy to really test some minuscule changes in the passive tree. Is this weapon better? These gloves better? Sometimes the DPS doesn't really give you a conclusive feeling in your skill tree, so you just want to blast away and see what comes out of it. Items filters desired but lower priority than core issues, so that you can actually make item filters in game instead of making them on Neversing Filter Blade and then importing them. I don't think this is too big of a problem. We have these websites, we can get the item filters. It would be nice to build them in game, but planned VFX culling per skill to reduce on-screen clutter without hiding effect from other players. That's very important, especially for our mercenary who starts to lag the game. Ta-da. And they're working on the multiplayer performance in general to make it that the actual visual clarity is prioritized and your skills are not blocking the view of your friends, and your friends are not getting less performance because you're just blasting everything apart. Roadmap highlights. We got the sword class essentially before launch. It is very important for the game in itself to have this middle attack speed class and to mix the swords in with the other weapons and also see how drop rates behave as we add another weapon into the fray. In generally, 030 will be greater build diversity, and I'm looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Rather a new class or Act 4, 5, and 6? Because that was also mentioned in the interview somewhere that in order to push these things out, Act 4, 5, 6, it might be that they have to pull back the new class. That does not mean we're not getting more ascendancies, because we're still missing some ascendancies. So give us those in 030 with the new content leak. I'm looking forward to it. But tell me, what do you think in the comments below? Are you excited? Are we looking forward to actually play PoE 2 again? Because I certainly am. Take care and have a fantastic good day.